Excuse me. All right. So the collective message for today. So Spirit was talking to me about the Star of David in Metatron's cube. And it's basically like an upwards triangle and a downward triangle. And I feel like it has to do with fire and air, but let me look it up. So it says Metatron's cube contains numerous interlocking triangles that form the basis of its sacred geometry. These triangles, ranging from small center shapes to large intersecting forms, symbolize harmony, balance, and the integration of masculine and feminine. Hot damn. I didn't even know this. But this is what I've been talking about all along, bruh. So the masculine is represented by the upward triangle, the feminine is represented by the downward triangle. It does represent fire. Okay, so it says a central prominent feature created by two large interlocking triangles, one upward and one downward, representing the star tetrahedron, which symbolizes fire, balance, and equilibrium. And that is, hold on, let me see. So the upward triangle is fire. And air. So the triangle here is air, and the triangle here is fire, but they're both upward triangles. And I guess what distinguishes this one is the line through the triangle. Okay, so water is the downward triangle, and that represents the feminine. And then earth with the earth is the downward triangle with the line through it. So So that's fire, air, earth, and water. That's all the elements. And being that the upward triangle represents the masculine and it represents like fire and air, and then the downward triangle represents the feminine and that represents more earth and water. And that's what I was talking about in a previous live, where I was saying that the feminine, like the feminine, the mother energy, the creator energy, she basically creates, and then the masculine sustains. And so the masculine is associated with the sun, which is fire related, and then the woman is associated with water and earth. Okay. Hey girl, I'm gonna get to your reading as soon as I finish this collective. It won't take long. Can you hang around for a minute, or do you want me to just do your reading now? I got these little eye patches. I think it's time to take them off. Um, Well, we could do it now. Let me just say this, because it's not, my collective isn't that long today. Um, so they were like, Spirit was talking to me about fire and air, and comparing the body to like a car, and talking about oxygen. I heard oxygen fuels the body, breath is essential for life. And then like an engine, there's like an air intake valve, and then there's like, that helps the car to basically fire its engine. um and I was hearing air and fire are the keys to creation or manifestation. And I feel like because that's associated more with the masculine, I need to delve into that a little bit more. um So I feel like when I said the keys to creation is kind of a situation where like the keys interlock. So the masculine and feminine, the masculine would be the key and the feminine would be the lock. And the masculine enters the feminine, unlocks the door. Um, but we'll get into that at a later time. But I was hearing that we have fire and air placements in our birth charts based on the type of creative power we express in this lifetime. So I would definitely look into that for your chart. Um, okay, I'm finishing up. Thank you for the follow. I'm finishing up a reading for Miss Chelsea. All right, Spirit. What does Chelsea need to know? If you have a question, you can pay for a reading, but I'm doing a personal reading right now. Thank you for the follow. Okay. What I'm hearing is um that like the way they're explaining it, and I guess what I was talking about in the beginning of the live was like a setup for what I'm about to talk to you about. But they're talking about like your masculine is like internally your masculine is overlapping your feminine. So instead of there being a balance where like I was talking about earlier in the collective where one triangle is upward, one triangle is downward. Um it's like they instead of like being in opposite directions, like they're overlapping each other. And so spirit is saying that um it's give I'm not saying that this is you, but let me know if it resonates or not. The energy that is giving is like you taking on both roles. So it's like you being a more outwardly feminine person, but you still kind of like being the aggressor or the pursuer. Um let me it doesn't have to be exact. I'm trying to articulate it as best I can. You say yes. Okay. Um So I feel like they're basically saying that it's almost like they're too integrated. Um, you said it resonated for sure. Okay, because it's almost like spirit is saying they're too integrated. Like they have to have a distinction, and so it's like literally you have created um like an environment within your energy where they're fully integrated, which is impressive because most people can hardly balance them versus fully integrating them. So, I mean, that's a whole accomplishment in itself. So you should be very proud of that accomplishment. Um but they're just like it can be a situation where they're too integrated, and it could be like it's basically I think I had mentioned it in a past live where I was saying that you were having like a um I think the word they used was trepidation about like your lifestyle choices. And so if you have yo, this is wild because it's almost like spirit is showing me the image of someone who has a same-sex lifestyle, because in a heterosexual person they'd be separated, like one pointing up and one pointing down. But in like someone who lives that kind of lifestyle, they're like super duper integrated. And I know that that kind of contradicts what psychology might say, because like there may be someone who like a masculine, like someone who was born masculine but acts outwardly more feminine. And so it doesn't seem to be fully integrated, but is really integrated. I hope that this is making some kind of sense. Um and so I think that because you're able to exist in both worlds seamlessly is the energy that is giving. So like if the energy that is given is like if you chose to be heterosexual today, like you could beautifully masterfully navigate through that. If you chose to be homosexual or lesbian, one day you would masterfully navigate that. So it's like almost like basically like you've mastered yourself. So kudos to you, hun. Let me know if that resonates. You said, girl, you put a nail on the head, honey. And that's why I'm like, spirit is wild for showing me that image of how that energy works. But you know what? I really feel like because you're like that, you are seriously the envy of a multitude of people. Like, can you imagine being the envy of all the heterosexual women who want to embody their sexuality so solidly that they can shift and move and flow? And then like you're the envy of a lot of lesbian people because they want to figure out, it's almost like having mastered the masculine and feminine, literally. So like, even though you were born of a woman and you move from that place, regardless of what environment you're in, you still have such a deep understanding or understanding of the masculine and feminine that people like don't normally have that mastery. And so it throws people off. It creates an environment where people don't really know how to take you. It's very intimidating. And so I feel like spirit is bringing this out because they're like, you really need to believe that about yourself. You really need to embody that about yourself and like work through that. Having that much creative, for lack of a better term, I'm gonna say intuitive, natural essence, knowledge, wisdom, that's you can navigate like the relationship guru world, for instance. Like, you could be able to speak to exactly how a woman thinks and literally exactly how a man thinks. Like, I don't know anybody on this planet who, as far as a woman knowing exactly how a man thinks and moves, I don't know. I wouldn't say there's anybody. I wouldn't even say there's anybody. But what I will say is that you downplay your ability a lot. I feel like that's why you're getting readings, because you know these things already, but you just want confirmation, and that's fine. But at the same time, spirit is like, you really need to give yourself a lot of kudos because that's not something that comes along every day where someone has mastered themselves. Because it's like, even so, the energy is that even if someone is outwardly acting one way towards you, you intuitively know that the person really has different feelings that they're holding in. You say, hey, he's a narcissist, so I've been questioning. Those are experiences that you had to have in order to master yourself. That's what I'm saying. Like, somebody who has gone through, you say, yeah, and my ex-wife also, yeah, like somebody who has mastered their energy in the way that you have to go through a lot of messed up relationships in order to master yourself, in order to take the test, learn the lessons, and grow from it and evolve. You said I didn't know what it meant until now. You said, damn, yeah. Yeah, that's wild. My lighting in here is real wonky. I'm just looking at my face. I'm like, I look like I have a sunburn or something. But like it's making my picture look weird in the back. Um I got my little his little iPad. Um but let me just remind you of what I was getting the other day. So I was getting vision cloudy, inquisitive, but not seeing the situation for what it is, ignoring the signs presented to you. And that's basically what we were talking about today because if you're not if you're not trusting yourself or trusting your intuition, then that's going to create an environment where you can't see the signs presented to you. You said, I'll tell you what, I'm sick of it. I want to just chill. Yeah. I be saying the same thing. Look, I'm right there with you. I say the same thing because I be having to go through it at every turn. So I totally feel you. I'm gonna pull some cards for you. Did you have any questions? You said. Now I just saw or things to look out for, so I don't know. Did you say something else? Oh, retrograde. Does she need to know anything with regard to Mercury retrograde? What I feel like they're saying is that as far as retrograde is concerned, you may have feelings of like everything isn't how it's supposed to be or how you want it to be, but you still like every now and then you may get a feeling of everything's gonna be okay. Like I just, like sometimes a feeling like a wave will come over you. Like I just know that even though it doesn't feel or look like what I wanted right this minute, I know that everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna work out. And it's gonna be like kind of like a weird feeling, because it's like normally with my life looking like how it looks, and I'm just speaking in general, like the energy is like if the person or you is looking at life like it doesn't look how it's supposed to look or how I want it to look. Um, but I'm not like taken away by my surroundings or how it looks, if that makes sense. So whereas some people would be like just sitting and dwelling and wallowing in, whatever isn't going right, you feel some kind of way about how things are, but at the same time, you just get these feelings of peace, of that you're going to be taken care of, and like you're divinely protected and guided at all times. Spirit, is there anything that she needs to look out for? Not Siri. Siri stuff. I definitely feel like quieting your mind and meditation is going to be very important. Because I feel like with the meditation helping you to heal and clear and pay closer attention to the signs, the synchronicities, the messages that you're getting, you will know what to look out for. You'll start to get the nudges. Like if you're talking to someone, you may like kind of get the feeling that the person is not for your highest and best good, and that they're kind of like maybe lying or bullshitting or withholding information, because like the energy is that you're like a child that is very free and I want to make friends and let's be friends. And then you're like really a legit friend. And then people be like, I'm not used to really having legit friends that want to be friends, that like pursue me as a friend, and like that type of energy. And that's not a bad thing at all. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to say that that's a negative. It's an amazing thing. And like for the right people that you encounter, that energy is going to be like some of the most amazing soul tribe energy that you bring to a group or an environment. And so I really feel like Spirit is like, you need to really focus on healing, developing, meditating, and you can do all that through meditation. And like Spirit will work on you in your sleep as well. Sometimes they want you to give them permission, like just say, Spirit team of the highest light and vibration, I give you permission to work on me while I'm sleeping. I give you permission to heal the parts of me that need healing, that I don't realize need healing. And so when you do stuff like that, then the healing process is really not that deep. It's just, you have to believe that the divine has your back and is helping you. And also receive it. So when you can believe it, but you also have to receive it. Yeah, like I was saying, not receiving the messages and the guidance from the divine. So like they're really trying to work with you and guide you. And yeah, they're trying to guide you. So they're trying to guide you through, guide you through your energy, teach you about more about your energy, and give you downloads. Um, but because you're not trusting yourself, then that's, creating an environment where it's hard. It's I'm not gonna say it's hard, but it's more challenging for you to hear from the divine. Yeah, like being in your head a lot, losing sleep, analysis paralysis, worry, anxiety. But Spirit said, your resolution, your healing is coming in fast. So, you know, just allow the divine to work on you and allow them, just allow them to do what they need to do and just receive what they're helping you with. Yeah, and this is the energy of not being able to receive. Spirit's like, we doing our best to get your attention. We trying to work with you. And you gotta be willing to be a partner with them. That's what I'm hearing. I think that overall we can make spirituality more complicated than it needs to be. And I know that that comes from all kinds of different traditions because like I was doing a reading the other night and I was talking to the person because they were asking me about doing something, a particular practice. I think it was hoodoo, and I was just like, you can do that, but it's not going to have the same effect as you just talking to your spirit guides, you just talking to your higher self, you just talking to your ancestors of the highest light and vibration. We overcomplicate things. We create like these paradigms of rituals that we have to do at a certain time of the day, a certain day of the week, you know, um, incantations that we have to do. And I'm not saying that your tongue and your words are not super powerful. I'm not saying that at all because it is, and they are. But I'm just saying that I feel like Spirit is saying that's why it's important to talk to them out loud. Because what Spirit is saying is that you can have a regular conversation with them just like you would have with your homegirl or your homeboy. However, your homegirl, your homeboy in the natural may not have any kind of resolution or solutions for you or healing for you. Because you could talk for hours to your friend in natural and they just be like, yo, that's some hard shit. Like, they just like, I don't even know what to say. Whereas when you talk to the divine like that, they are creating solutions for everything that you're dealing with, for everything that you're going through. And so, the more you talk to them, the more you express how you're feeling. Like the divine wants you to get down and dirty and raw about how you are truly feeling. Because if you can't say it out loud, then you aren't going to be able to resolve it. And so maybe you're not the type of person that's going to get on social media and tell your business, or maybe you're not the type of person that'll go and talk to people about stuff. I'm not saying that going and talking to people about stuff is going to, create some kind of solution. Sometimes it does. It just depends on what the situation is. Like if you know that you're talking to the CEO of a company who can absolutely resolve your issue 1000% and far above and beyond what you could imagine, then yes, that's the person that you would need to say something to in a natural. But I'm talking about like if you have a situation that you're embarrassed to talk about with other people. You don't like it's a situation you don't even want to talk to a therapist about it. That type of energy. Those are the types of raw conversations that you need to basically take advantage of your relationship with the divine to talk about, because they know what has happened anyway. Like they see everything. So trying to hide those things, or trying to hide your emotions around certain things that you experience is pointless. It's completely pointless, because the divine is always going to know what's going on, is always going to know what's happening, is always going to know what you're thinking. So you might as well have a conversation with them. Like the things that you have done, and that you don't want to admit to anyone, and how you feel about being, doing those things. That's how you need to talk to your spirit team. Like if you have been just out here doing things with a multitude of people, and you don't feel good about it, I feel like a lot of those things go back to like traditional religion and the church, and how they've made us feel about sex. And it's so, not before marriage, it's a sin, it's taboo, it's this, it's that, like all of those things that society and tradition has heaped on to um just people in general, like trying to create this environment of shame around just how you want to live your life. Aside from like, STDs and things like that, like if that wasn't even a big issue, you just like some people just don't feel comfortable or safe or okay with just saying, I want to be a damn just hoe. And I'm not speaking for myself. Look, don't get it twisted. I'm just saying that people should not feel guilty for wanting to just be free sexually and do what they want to do. As long as you're an adult and there's another consenting adult, there's really like the divine is not tripping about what people out here trying to do. I mean, seriously. You said hello. I like how you're talking about the divine instead of that jealous guy. Yeah. It's definitely like spirit is so like chill and laid back. Like people would never imagine just for lack of better terms, I want to say down to earth. Like It's so unbelievable. Like my heart right now is getting so overwhelmed and like full because when I think about spirit and the divine and how loving and funny and crazy and just off the chain this energy is in comparison to like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you have to wait until you're married to do this, this is a sin, that is a sin, oh God don't like this, I don't, like don't read your birth chart because you going against God, and don't get to, like, basically that was manufactured on purpose with full intention to get us further away from the things that we need to connect to in order to be the fullness of ourselves as spiritual enlightened beings. And so by making it like a moral sin, people gonna do one of two things. They gonna do the shit in secret, or they're just gonna rebel against the system. And either way, you rebelling against the system. So the divine ain't on that. Now there's certain things that they be dead serious about. Like one of them things is like when you describe what a divine being looks like, they don't play. You better like don't joke, cause like what happened was one of my mentors was saying that she could see like these security guards that were around me. And she was like, she drew a picture of it. They looked like these huge Egyptian, okay, 1111. They look like these huge Egyptian like guards. And they have, the garment. So it's like, the garments looks like a kilt, or the divine, don't say skirt. Just don't say skirt. Because the divine will be like garment. Like they be tripping about certain things, but like I know with the type of relationship I have with them, like I just be letting it rip. I just be wilding. Like if I had a situation where, I had me and my man, like I will talk to them about the experience. Like, yeah, y'all sent me a good one right there. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Your girl was fully pleased. Thank you. Oh, God. Oh, God. That's why I'm like, yo, what society and traditional religion has us out here thinking that the divine is like these holier than thou, stuffy, like priest looking individuals is wild. He said, do you talk to Earth Mother? Because that's how I speak to her. I don't know what you mean. Excuse me. Are you talking about that's how you refer to source? Gaia. But I mean, is that how you refer to source as being Gaia? Is that what you're asking? Okay. I don't really, I mean, of course, source is everything, but I don't really envision source like that. I just kind of just talk, you know. But I feel like it's whatever works for you. So whatever you're comfortable with, whatever works for you. Like the as long as the like your I mean, I know that like source is intelligent. You don't have to explain to them like what you're doing or using a specific name. Like there's so many different names for source that that energy responds to like whatever name you're calling it. Whatever, like if you, I promise, if you said to yourself, I'm gonna refer to source as Mima, and if that's what you personally have associated with the energy of source, then source will respond to that. And so that's why trying to act like one religion is better than another is just not okay. And then certain practices put a lot of stipulations on like how you have to come to the throne of Christ or whatever, or like you cannot come to that energy if you have sinned and fornicated and done all these other things, and it's just like it's so confusing. You said exactly. You are exactly how everyone should be. Thank you. Oh, thank you. But yeah, like there's so many, practices and different things that people do, and what happens is like burnout, spiritual burnout is real too, because if you are doing rituals, doing protection spells, doing return to senders, lighting candles, talking to your ancestors, like why it should not, like, it does not have to be like this big elaborate convoluted complicated interaction at all. And that's really the message spirit wants to get across, because like, and you know how the church is like, oh, you can't cuss, it's, you're not supposed to cuss, and you're not supposed, like, my spirit team, I can cuss all day long. They don't care nothing about that. What they care about is, are you caring for yourself? Are you caring for others? Are you loving yourself first? Are you establishing your boundaries, your protection, and knowing, when to say when to allow someone in your energy, when not to allow someone in your energy? Those are all things that spirit cares about, because the more you take care of yourself, the more you love yourself, the more you value yourself, you're going to interact with other people just like that. So it's only the people who really don't like themselves, don't like their life, regret all their decisions, just living in this really like miserable space. It's really those people who treat other people messed up. And so spirit is like, if it's between you cussing and you actually treating people right, we'll take the cussing, and we'll take that. You said, I'm not that type. I'm a natural. I don't do the ritual things. I go with the flow. Okay. Excuse me. I feel you. You said the Lord wants us to eat raw plant-based. Eating animals is the devil's deception. Men fell after the flood. Okay. I kind of get what you're saying. You know, I'm not going to debate with anybody about whether we're supposed to be eating meat or not. I have my own issues with that because I'm like, I love animals, but do I still eat meat? Yes, I do. So it's definitely a struggle for me. I'm glad you found me as well. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, this shit out here is crazy though. And trust me, the divine would much rather you get your swerve on than abstain if getting your swerve on is going to help you to be creative and, you know, give you an attitude adjustment. Hell, some people need attitude adjustments. Point blank, period. Say yes, you're right. Oh my God. Somebody watching y'all from a secret account is not happy right now. Oh Lord. Someone, I don't know if I want to say this. Spirit, where are we going with this? Oh, thank you. Oh my God. Oops, sorry. I really feel like Spirit is saying that someone you've met previously, I definitely feel like is someone that you've been intimate with. This person is giving the energy that y'all, like, you know, got together. It didn't last very long, and then you like parted ways. But this person, like, once y'all separated, this person realized that they loved you, like in love with you, want to marry you type energy. And because it didn't last that long, like because this person doesn't really understand why they feel like that so quickly, it was very unsettling for the person, because like they see you as this like queen bee energy using your spiritual gifts. um they definitely see your abilities. um that's not even a question. But because they were like stressed the hell out, like I don't even know why I like this person this much this soon. Like I've only had a couple of encounters with this person, and all I know is that they be doing the spirituality thing, and they may think that you have done some kind of spell work. Yeah, cuz like this is kind of giving the energy of spell work. Not that praying and meditating is equivalent. I'm just saying the energy of the card for this particular spread. Regardless, the way that they see you powerfully operating in your gifts, they already know that you have a direct line to the divine. And so they feel like even if you're not necessarily doing like deliberate spell work, it's something about your connection to the divine, which is why they, are feeling the way that they're feeling, and why spirit may be jacking their ass up right now. I feel like spirit is jacking them all the way up. And when I say that, look, I miss you. When I say spirit is jacking them up, I mean that like they're having to go through an awakening. Yeah, romance. This person cannot do anything but think about you. And that's why they really think you have like a hold on them. Yeah, this person like low key wants to have a family, but they scared to say something because they're like, it's just too soon. Because most people would think they were a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs falling in love that quickly. Well, I placed the side hustle card on top of the Queen Bee spiritual gifts. And so I feel like whoever I'm speaking of, this like doing your spiritual work may be just a side hustle for you right now. So you still work a 9 to 5, but you do your thing. And for some of y'all, this also could be that somebody you're dealing with has a side hustle, like a street pharmaceutical hustle type thing. So if you were questioning it, Spirit said, yeah, they thugging it out and they side hustle, straight thugging it out. We have blocked. Hold on, y'all. Turn this here. The air was like, Give me chilling. So yeah, like I was saying, it's somebody you disconnected from, it's somebody you blocked. And I mean, this person that you disconnected from, they may be this person I'm talking about where they have a side hustle that just is not right. And so that would be another reason why spirit would create a separation between you and someone. Like, even if you really like the person, spirit would create some distance between you and that person if that person wasn't right. Shady, yeah. If that person wasn't on the up and up and you have your spirit guides protecting you, they gonna create a separation. So either this person is gonna get right or get left. Trap. Yeah. Spirit's like, you ain't about to have our baby at the trap house. So you better get right or get left. Mm-mm. And little spirit was like, he's in these streets hustling. Oh my God. Like making deliveries, you know how the street pharmaceuticals be making deliveries. But like the whole trap thing could be that they're under surveillance. You know, we have the handcuffs in this car and thug and then trap. Like if you know the block is hot, I will never understand this concept. If you know the block is hot, why you out there? Like, you gotta figure out some other route. I'm not promoting illegal behavior whatsoever, but I'm just saying, like, it boggles my mind to think about the fact that people will know that it's a 99% chance that you gonna sell to an undercover or be under surveillance or something in this particular area, but they continue to just be in the area. And I'm just like, what we doing? But anyway, they messed up about you. They were like, I'm in love with this person. I just wanted to have some romance, go on dates. But spirit is like, you gotta get right. Like, whether it's having to cut off a karmic tie with someone. And I said cut off a karmic tie with someone, and we have the illumination card. So yeah, like as soon as this person can cut karmic ties with whoever they were dealing with, then they gonna level up. And like I said earlier, this person is going through an awakening. So when I said that spirit was, handling them, is because they're going through an awakening. Onyx, please stop crashing out while I'm on live. Both of y'all. I feel like this person is realizing that they can no longer sweet talk you. They like, damn, that shit ain't working this time. Cause it's giving the energy of like maybe you could have let this person circle back a couple of times. Um, but you know, I feel like Spirit is saying it still wasn't really long enough to create any memories or, you know, like have pictures and stuff. It was just kind of like a, I don't want to say the word fling because it's not giving me the energy of a fling. It's giving me the energy of like a really sweet, enduring courtship. But someone when someone encounters their soulmate and it sparks their awakening, you know, like that person is gonna be, regardless of how good it was, that person is gonna be like all over the place. We have love message. I do feel like this person's gonna figure out how to get in contact with you even though you have them blocked. I feel like too, if like this person could also be dealing in like fraud, so it doesn't have to be street pharmaceuticals. It could just be some type of fraudulent activity, possibly dealing with money. Yeah, I think that and hell, it could be in the sex industry too. Like somebody out here that going recruiting for a strip club. That's what this is giving. Like somebody that's just doing some unscrupulous stuff, like recruiting for a strip club or recruiting for um some kind of like SA. But you know what? That's not somebody that y'all need to be going back to. Let me get some more insight in this. Cause if somebody is doing all that, mm-mm. And we have karmic lesson. Yeah, this person that I'm talking about with all these issues going on over here, um, I think that was just supposed to create a karmic situation for you to have a lesson learned out of it. So this is kind of two different people if you look at it. Like you had, you know, a couple of options, at least two options. And one was like this karmic, and then this other one was this person who is truly your divine partner, but the whole encounter scared them so much. And that's why Spirit be like, choose wisely, look at the signs, because you know we could really mess around and be with the wrong person. And I was saying we could really mess around and be with the wrong person. And I talk about love spells. And the thing is that the people that do them, that truly believe that they work, they could mess around and do a love spell on somebody that they're not even gonna like. So if you do a love spell on somebody that you think you like right now, but when you actually get them in a relationship, they end up being a damn karmic lesson. And now, because you done use spell work to get this person, and you wholeheartedly believe in your spell work and that it worked, now you just stuck. Like, you are literally trapped in a damn relationship that you didn't bargain for. Damn. That's crazy. That's bananas. Matter of fact, I wanted to. Oh, man. Um, oh, I wanted to use this one. I don't know why I couldn't see it. I don't know why I'm coughing. Onyx. Yeah, I feel like I was hearing that people were talking about you, and I feel like, having you in their thoughts is similar to talking about someone. Because you got to think about the person that damn talk about them. Unexpected income. Yeah, there's some people that's talking like, yeah, she about to get that money. And as soon as I said she about to get that money, Wealthy Man came out. So he or she is about to get that money. Correction. Something may have happened. I feel like something may have happened in spirit yesterday on the 27th that is. Oh, wait, hold on. Now the information they're giving me is like a movie. So the movie goes like this, or like the energy goes like this. So let's just say your uncle has a party, like a birthday party or, any kind of party, retirement party, whatever. Your uncle has a party, and at this party is an individual who, knows your uncle, but then realizes through your family at the party that they actually know more people connected to your uncle than they thought they did. And so there's like this like moment of like when this person comes to your uncle's party, and it's like there's a moment where this person is like, yo, I know of this dude because my friend who is connected to him, who I didn't know is connected to him, was telling me that this dude like stole an inheritance from their child. And this person, even like this person is starting, like is at the party, like putting all of these pieces together. And that's where I feel like the unexpected income is coming from, because like the way spirit is showing me, it's like this is so, there's so many moving parts, there's so many things that are intricately connected to how you're going to get this unexpected income. It's going to be mind-boggling. Like when you get this unexpected income and you actually sit down and think about all of the moving parts that spirit had to connect in order for this to come about, it's definitely giving movie worthy. It's definitely giving movie worthy. Because I'm just like, but what's so crazy is that the uncle who did this, and it doesn't have to be an uncle, it could actually be your parent or something like that. But the person that did this is like so unbelievably stupid on top of everything. It's like when you do something to, it's giving the energy where it's like I faked a child's unaliving so I could collect the insurance money, but I'm parading this child around people that I know. You know, like it's that type of level of stupidity. And so when this person starts putting all of these puzzle pieces together, they start just like putting the ball in motion for you to get what is yours. And I mean, it can happen just like that, for real. Like it could just be this person is in this right place at the right time. That's definitely the energy is given. I wish my dog could hand me the card when it dropped. And we have courtship and thief. And then we have marriage right behind it. So I do feel like this is a couple. Because if you notice, they have similar color clothing. It's a male and a female. And then we have 24 and 4. So yeah, there's some, and look at how this one has a child in it. And I've been talking about like, you know, doing something shady involving like when the person was a child. And spirit is basically saying like it's been a journey to get to this point, because the divine was always going to make it come to pass that they would have to face justice. But it's been a lot of twists and turns. And I feel like, what I really feel like is that I feel like spirit allowed it to transpire and to morph into so many different avenues, because they wanted to, like, when they take this person down and they get, like, they, when they finally get prosecuted or whatever, it's going to be so much, like, just built up. So it's almost like this, they let this person continue to build wealth off of your money or whatever you were supposed to get. And all the while, like, as they were just like, basically it's giving the energy of hoarding the money, like just continuing to gather it and let it grow and grow. And the spirit was like, okay, word up, we gonna let you continue to grow that, just so that we can give it to our chosen. And this person is in bad health. They stressed out. Stressed to the absolute max, whoever did that. Because the courts are about to get involved. That this unexpected income is going to open all kinds of pathways to your destiny. And just enhance the journey. Because spirit is like, you went from this to this. Are you about to? Like, the wait is over. No more working hard. No more having to struggle. Yes, in the distant horizon, spirit said, hold on just a little bit longer. I definitely feel like it's a mature couple. So, like, the mature woman is the feminine side of that couple. So it's because I feel like she's spirit had me pull these, well, the cards were back to back, but I feel like she's facing him, and the card is expectation, because this person has an expectation of an official person to somehow help get these people out of this trouble. Because, like, I feel like, the stress of, like, being caught is what is causing this illness. And they're trying to get all kinds of official people to help them. But the spirit said, nah, we not gonna allow that. We switching it up. They are not gonna be able to get any kind of official people to help them any longer, because you are of high honor. You're of high honor in this realm and the spirit realm. You may not know it, but you are definitely of high honor. What do you mean not happening? And we have the lovers card, and then we have adjudication right after that. And I definitely feel like Spirit is saying, yeah, this couple is going down so that you can have great fortune while they go to prison. And you still getting more money, more money, more money. While they over here in court, and you see there's a masculine and feminine in front of that judge. While they over here in court and going to lock up, you over here living my best life. I ain't going back and forth with you. He said, it's not going well for them at all. Right. Sarah said, be open to receive this gift. Because you're going to be doing philanthropic efforts, humanitarian efforts to give back to the community. And that's why Spirit is bestowing all this money and wealth and gifts upon you. And here we go back to the part about this main male out here in despair because he's in separation and don't know what to do. I definitely feel like there's a message about a house specifically. And these people are concerned now because you see how he looks like he's, well off, and this person is in poverty. The roles are about to be reversed. So whoever took advantage of this child and put them in like a place of poverty by taking what should have been theirs, now you want to be concerned. Don't be concerned now, because you weren't all that concerned when you were forcing this person to have to work these jobs when they could have been chilling and independently wealthy. And we have male, female, and child back to back. So I definitely feel like we're talking about a mature masculine who took advantage of a feminine, more than likely their child. I do feel like this mature male might be checking out shortly. I hate to say it like that because, I'm sensitive to people's pain and, like having to grieve or mourn. But I feel like this person, you're gonna find out that this person took advantage. Like, it's not gonna be that devastating. And I hate to say it like that. But yeah, definitely family room and false person. This is definitely a false person that was a family member. A mature masculine. Could even be a grandfather. Like, stuff be wicked. But I'm gonna have to hop off of here because I'm on my way out the door. And Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Please give me a follow if you haven't already. And I will see y'all later.